Zack and Wiki is one of the best Wii games most people have never heard of. Now, most of you who do know about the game and have played it would likely agree with me, but if you have no idea what a Zack and Wiki is, you're gonna have to just trust me. This game is awesome. In fact, the only thing that sucks about Zack and Wiki is its almost inconceivably bad name. Zack and Wiki, subtitled Quest for Barbaros Treasure. It was actually called Project Treasure Island Z during development. I'm seriously not sure which is worse. Clearly, Capcom had a great game with great ideas and no idea what to call it, so they just pulled 35 wooden letters from a Scrabble bag and did the best they could. Fortunately, the name is the game's worst and perhaps only major flaw. You may be surprised to learn Zack and Wiki has nothing to do with Wikipedia. It actually tells the story of an aspiring young pirate named Zack who is searching the world for treasure. Players direct Zack and his primate sidekick Wiki by pointing at the screen with the Wii remote and interacting with their surroundings to solve puzzles, overcome obstacles, and ultimately find the buried treasure. Make no mistake, Zack and Wiki is a point-and-click adventure, as you'll spend the entire game pointing at the screen and clicking to navigate Zack and solve lots of really challenging puzzles. And even though the game does feel like an amped up and modernized interpretation, if you're not a fan of the age-old point-and-click genre, Zack and Wiki probably won't appeal to you. So why do so many people in the know rave about Zack and Wiki? Well, it has everything to do with the puzzles. Each of the game's 20 levels is basically just a big puzzle. There's a treasure, and it's your job to guide Zack to the booty. And I use that term the way pirates use it, which is more meaningful, I think. Navigating through the levels is done simply by clicking in the direction you'd like Zack to move. You can also interact with objects by clicking on them. And sometimes you'll have to use the Wii Remote's motion controls to mimic actions like sawing a tree or turning a crank. Now, generally, these motions are really well implemented and actually add to the experience, which is always a sign of motion control done well. It feels great, and given that 95% of the game is simply pointing and clicking, these moments feel particularly rewarding and satisfying. It's impossible to give you an example of the game's puzzles without ruining the thrill of discovery the game is about. So I'm not going to, and we're not even going to show you more than just a few of the intro puzzles here in the review. I really don't want to spoil it for anyone. So just suffice to say, Zack and Wiki is a collection of some of the most clever and challenging puzzles I've ever played in a video game. And when you finally figure out how to nab that treasure and finish the level, you get a real sense of accomplishment that makes the time you spent stumped totally worthwhile. Zack and Wiki is a very pretty game, employing the same cel-shaded visual style of Nintendo's Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and splicing it up with lots of nice visual effects along the way. I've actually found Zack and Wiki to be a fantastic game to break out when friends are around. Everyone really gets into solving the puzzles and offering potential solutions, even though not a single one of them is actually holding a controller. So while it's not technically a multiplayer game, it's definitely an ideal option for families who enjoy playing casual games together. That, combined with the game's solid use of motion and its overall unique feel, makes Zack and Wiki an exemplary Wii game. Now that said, don't confuse Zack and Wiki with the casual stuff marketed toward your grandparents, because this game is very challenging. There may only be 20 puzzles, but they gradually become more and more difficult, to the point at which you may spend hours trying to figure out just one level. In fact, one could levy that as a criticism. Some of the game's most difficult puzzles are solved with esoteric solutions you would never be able to deduce with any kind of rational logic. There's a lot of try something, die, try something else in Zack and Wiki, and a lot of people might not have the patience for that. It also would have been great to have had some online support. Once Zack and Wiki is finished, you really don't have any reason to replay it because you've already gotten the thrill of solving the puzzles, and I can't help but wish Capcom would have figured out a way to offer additional downloadable levels. It seems like the ideas and concepts used to forge Zack and Wiki were so plentiful, Capcom must have had more gas left in its tank, and it's a shame to see that go to waste. Forget the name and call it whatever you want. Call it Super Happy Puzzle Time if you'd like. But if you're itching for some puzzling, old-school gameplay and a reason to dust off your Wii, look no further than the tragically named Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbaros Treasure. Look no further than the tragically named Zack and Wiki.